days ago, I added a column to my rankings, and it's a column that was a solution to a problem that's been bugging me for years. And a few days ago, I did a podcast episode on rankings about the fact that when you look at rankings, it's not even clear what exactly the people doing the rankings want you to believe about those players. For example, if a number 3 wide receiver is ranked ahead of a lottery ticket handcuff running back, does that mean they expect the number 3 wide receiver to be a safer pick and get you more assured, 6 to 8 points a game, give or take? Or are they just missing the boat? And what you really should be focused on, with the 120th, 140th pick is higher ceiling. Go for the lottery ticket. And why aren't rankings very clearly understood as the deeper you go into a draft, the more important it is to focus on ceiling rather than floor? So I talked about that. And this column that I added, uh, uh, it had been bugging me how to do it. And then the solution just seemed so obvious. And so what I did was I've got in my rankings, bargains and fades to different degrees based on ADP versus my rankings. So if someone is ranked 80th in ADP overall, but they're 60th on my rankings, then it automatically tags them as a big bargain. They fit into this realm of, you draft them. Essentially, they're worth a round earlier than what you would normally invest in them, according to ADP. So here's the problem. I would have guys, as some of you may know, my first episode, or second episode was on Dak Prescott. And I've got him like 50, 60 spots ahead of his ADP. And those types of rankings that I've had over the years, what people have come back to me with is sometimes they will share with me, hey, I used your rankings, I drafted, and then they'll show me round by round, and I'll kind of wince. I'm admitting it. I kind of wince when I see someone who's going 9th, 10th, 11th round based on ADP, but I had them as a 5th rounder, and so someone following my rankings drafted them in the 5th round. And I'm thinking, okay, that's great you got them, but you could have gotten them a round or two later. I don't say that because I just don't like to, unless I have a familiarity with the person I'm emailing, but, it's in general, I want to be supportive. Like, you got the player. That's awesome. But over and over again, admittedly, I have felt like I'm wronging people by not really spelling out clearly. And I've tried to, but it's not very well. Hey, if you see a guy who's ranked 100th overall on ADP, but 60th on my draft board, when 60 hits, kind of feel it out. Kind of see, do you pick them up in 1 round? Do you pick them up after 2 rounds? You don't want to wait till 100 because that's cutting it too close. 90 might even be cutting it too close, especially if you've got someone who's going, if you're picking in the middle or at the end of the line or 12 team league and you're at 12 and it's going down at like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, you got to wait 20 plus picks before it gets back to you. So if you haven't taken your target at 80, you probably are not going to get them by the time they get back to you at roughly 100 or 104. So there's a logic to going early, but too early undercuts the impact of the pick. Because if I can get 2 5th-round value players, one in the 5th round and one in the 7th round, that is much more effective than getting 1 5th-round value player. And then by the 6th round, I don't have any 5th-round value players left. Now I'm kind of stuck. I'm drafting the next tier because there's not a guy left in that upper tier that I can just sneak in and get. So I just put in an extra column in my rankings that bridges the difference between ADP and my ranking. So it gives an estimate of, hey, I think the player is going to be, if the player is ranked at 80 and I've got them at 60, then it means at around 70, I think right around there, you got to get him if you're going to get him. And after that, it starts to become much riskier. And the reason why I kind of have it is that, cut it in half, is that if you've got a guy who's ranked, let's say 160th, you're in a deep league, and that's his ADP, and I've got him at 110, well, you split the difference, that's 135. Um, you, that's a pretty big gap. And you don't want to get too cute with it, because if you miss out on a guy who can get you ninth round value, and you get him in the 11th round, when he's going in most drafts in the 13th, that's not bad. Like, I'll take it. Especially if they have a high ceiling. So I want to be clear with folks. If you're using my rankings, uh, be aware, as I've tried to express, but again, not really clearly enough, I think, that my rankings are where I think they will end up optimally. In what I say optimally, it's realistic range of outcomes where I think they will fall in the optimal sense for realistic range of outcomes. So Jamar Chase, number one, because of realistic range of outcomes, he is the top of the top. And Dak Prescott is higher than his ADP by a mile because I think his realistic range of outcomes puts him far ahead of where he is currently in ADP. I think he's like the 17th ranked quarterback or something like that. So, and I've got him, I think at 10, maybe, or 9. So, it's really important when you're using rankings, whether you're using mine or somebody else's, or if you're using an amalgam of them, you're using someone else's or mine, and you're also kind of putting them into something and kind of customizing them based on how you want to draft, which I know some of you do. Make a note of the point when a certain bargain probably won't be available. And it is quite possible that you could get 5, 6, 7 steals in a draft if you play it right. If you stagger them in a way where in round 4, you're getting a guy with third round value who is ranked as a 5th rounder, you believe they're going to be a 3rd round value pick. And so getting them in the 4th round is a win for you. And if you do that over and over again, you're going to have the kind of draft where who cares if Yahoo gives you an F or a D. If it's based on what you think is going to happen, that makes it worth it, and that makes you a winner before the first game starts. I'm BJ Riddell, Fantasy Football for Winners, and follow on the Facebook page, join the community, email me. See you tomorrow.